We are dining at every single restaurant in Epcot's World Showcase, and today we're checking out La Creperie de Paris. Our quest to dine at every restaurant in the World Showcase continues in France. In the very first video in this series, we checked out Chefs de France. You guys like all these French accents I've got going on? I practiced. And Chefs de France is one of my favorite restaurants in the World Showcase. Knocks it out of the park every time. I love the French onion soup, the salmon dish there, and of course, don't even get me started on the dessert. But one classic French dish that Chefs de France is missing are crepes. And when building the France expansion to incorporate the Ratatouille attraction to the pavilion a couple of years ago, they introduced a sit-down crepe restaurant, which I have actually never dined at before. The creperie here is keeping things pretty simple. Besides the appetizers, the only thing they have on the menu are crepes. They have a selection of savory crepes as well as, of course, dessert crepes. So is this place worth checking out on your next trip to Epcot? Let's head inside and find out. I've never even as much as stepped foot inside this restaurant, I gotta say. It's a lot smaller than I had expected it to be. It's also like very strange in here because it's giving wannabe cafe, but also it's so quiet and there's no background music, so it's just very awkwardly small and uncomfortable in here. Okay, let's take a little bit of a closer look at the menu though. Here we have our appetizers. Like I said, there's a soup, there's a salad. The soup of the day is a potato soup, which it sounds so good even though it's so hot. And then we have our savory crepes here. There's a selection of a bunch of different ones. This goat cheese one sounds kind of good, as does this one here with caramelized onions. So I'll have to decide. And then here's our dessert crepes here. I would enjoy all of these, so I'm not sure which one I'm gonna get there. And then here is our information for the prefix menu. Now you don't have to do the prefix menu, it's just an option, but for me, it sounds like it makes sense because I wanna kind of try as much of the menu as I can, and it's only $39.95. We're gonna see if that's ultimately worth it, but with the prefix menu, you get a choice of the soup of the day or the salad. You also get one savory crepe, any savory crepe of your choice, and then you get a glass of hard cider, soda, or juice with that. So if you get the hard cider, I feel like that might make a little bit of sense. And then you get to choose one of the dessert crepes. Like I said, I did decide to go with the prefix menu, and I decided to go with the soup as my appetizer. This is the loaded baked potato soup, and if you wanted to get it on its own, it's gonna cost you $9.25, but it does come with our prefix menu today. I will admit, I kind of was hoping for the soup of the day to be a French onion because that is my favorite kind of soup, and I especially love the French onion soup from Chefs de France, so I was hoping you could kind of get it over here too, but it seems like that's not the case. All good though. Loaded baked potato soup is probably my second favorite kind of soup, so this will definitely do. The fact that this soup is so yellow is making me think it's more of a cheese soup than a potato soup, but we're gonna try this out and see how it is. Nothing like some warm soup on a scorching hot day. It's definitely really cheesy, but I do like a cheesy baked potato soup, and I was expecting it to kind of like mess with the potato flavor, but it doesn't. There are a ton of chunks of potatoes in here. I also see these croutons in here. I've never seen like croutons just placed on a soup like that, so I thought that was kind of weird. I want to try some with the crouton. The croutons aren't that crunchy. They're kind of soggy, probably from sitting in the soup. But I could get down with this soup overall. It's really good. And as weird as this sounds, I kind of wish they sold soup at more quick service places. Like I wish you could just get a bowl of loaded baked potato soup in like a sourdough bread bowl from the France Bakery. I know you could get a lobster bisque from the France Bakery, but why not the loaded baked potato too? They obviously have it. So send us some in the bakery so you could get it to go. Get it kind of quicker than if you didn't want to sit down. This soup has a ton of green onions, which I love green onions in a potato soup. There's also a pretty good bacon flavor. And even though the croutons aren't crunchy, I kind of don't really mind it. I guess those croutons are kind of taking the place of bread. I would love if they gave you like a little baguette to kind of dip in the soup. That would be great. They give you a baguette over at Chefs de France to start your meal. I wish they did the same here, and that would be really, really good dipped in the soup. But the croutons are all right. I haven't ordered my hard cider yet. You definitely got to get the hard cider here if you're doing the prefix menu. You got to get best bang for your buck. I just got a water to start though. And look, they have plastic straws here, or whatever kind of material this is made out of, but they don't have paper straws, so I love that. I gotta admit, I like that soup a lot more than I thought I would. But now we have to choose from our galettes, which are savory buckwheat crepes. And I'm pretty sure the buckwheat crepes are gluten-free. So if you have a gluten allergy, double check on that, but I'm pretty sure each one on its own costs $18.50. But then of course, it's also part of the prefix menu. So that's what we're deciding on today. They have the classic one, which is ham, egg, and Swiss. They have a chicken one with bechamel and mushrooms. They have one with goat cheese. I almost got this one with spinach, goat cheese, spinach, and walnuts. They have a salmon one with some smoked salmon, ratatouille, which I was kind of tempted to as well since we're right outside of the ratatouille attraction. But this is the one I ultimately went with. It's also my waiter's favorite crepe, he said. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but it has raclette cheese, caramelized onions, bacon, and prosciutto. Yum. With our savory crepe, we also had to choose our drink. And like I said, you could get a hard cider, a soda, or juice, but you gotta go with the hard cider. There are 4 different options to choose from driest all the way to sweetest. I went with the driest one. Now, normally this costs $6.95 a glass. I asked if it was like champagne, and he said it's similar. It's like a sparkling apple juice type of thing. So it's made with apples. So I thought that was interesting. A French hard cider, a little different than champagne, but I love champagne. So I think this should be good. Here is our Brut French hard cider. It does definitely look like apple juice. It looks like sparkling apple juice. We'll try it out. Tastes exactly like sparkling apple juice too. It's definitely a mix between like your typical Angry Orchard hard cider. That's the hard cider, like apple hard cider that I think of when I think of a hard cider. So it tastes like a mix between that and champagne for sure. I would prefer regular champagne because this is a little bit sweeter than just a plain champagne, but it's still pretty good. And I like that they include something in this with your meal. Perfect timing, our galette has arrived. This is the Savoyard. It has raclette cheese, caramelized onions, bacon, and imported prosciutto ham. And as soon as I have to start pronouncing the more difficult stuff to pronounce in a French accent, my French accent from the beginning is gone when I had to talk about this crepe. I have got to say, this crepe looks a lot better than I was expecting. It looks very cheesy, very buttery, and very savory. I don't know, I've never had one of these savory crepes before, but it looks delicious. Let's cut ourselves off a bit of this crepe here. I got to get plenty of that cheese and those caramelized onions. I'm most excited for the caramelized onions. I love a good caramelized onion, so we got some of that on there. Let's get some of this prosciutto here as well. I don't know if I'm going to be able to cut this with a knife. Might have to use my hands. Oh, there we go. Okay. Piece of prosciutto coming right on up. There we go. The perfect bite. I'm quite shook. That was really, really good. The crepe itself has a really nice crisp to it. I like that they kind of let it crisp up. It adds a great texture. Plenty of cheese in there, a ton of prosciutto, but my favorite part, those caramelized onions are perfection. I don't know if they're using the same caramelized onions that they use in the French onion soup over at Chefs de France, but it tastes very similar to some type of like French onion soup style caramelized onions. It adds just an amazing sweetness to this dish. It all pairs perfectly together. I'm kind of in shock, honestly, because I never really considered myself a crepe person. Like coming back here to get the crepes, and especially when they had the stand over in the front of the France Pavilion, I never like really got them. They never kind of like caught my attention or anything. But now after this, maybe I just needed a savory crepe. I like this so much more than I ever expected. This is fantastic. And confirmed, this crepe, and I'm pretty sure all of the savory crepes are gluten-free. The buckwheat ones are not made with any gluten, and they let me know that they actually also changed the bechamel that is in some of the crepes. So the bechamel is also gluten-free. So any of my gluten-free friends out here, this is an amazing dish for you guys to come and try. Oh, that was delicious. And you guys know I'm more of a savory type of person, so it's gonna be really hard to beat that savory crepe, but we do have to decide on what sweet crepe we're gonna get now. Each crepe on its own is $10.95, so not that bad. They look pretty big as well. First one, we've got a hazelnut spread with whipped cream. We've got a banana one with caramel. We've got one with peach, mixed berries, and almonds. And then we have this pear, chocolate ganache, and whipped cream. Pear and chocolate, that sounds interesting. And kind of like an apple one, caramelized apples and caramel sauce. With your sweet crepes, you can also choose to add whipped cream, ice cream, sauce, or fruits for $3.50 a piece. Or you could even add a shot to your crepe. I wonder how that works for $8.75. The crepes with the caramel and chocolate sound a little bit too heavy for me right now, so I think I'm gonna go with the fruit one. Also, the fruit with the almonds sounds really just like light and refreshing right now. Sounds really good. This is the Melba. It has peach, mixed berries, and almonds. Once again, this crepe here looks quite impressive. I want to try some with that almond on there. I think it's going to be a really good crunch from that almond. And of course, we've got to get some peaches and berries from the center. It looks good. Thank you so much. Let's see if it tastes as good as it looks. It's not overly sweet, which I really like. I don't like desserts that are way too sweet. And I was worried that the berries and stuff would kind of would be too tart in here, but they're not. The flavor is really good. The almonds, like suspected, add a great crunch in there, a great crunch element. The crepe itself is pretty solid. I like the filling. Again, solid, no complaints. There's also quite a bit of berry filling in here. At first it looked like the majority of it was kind of just hanging out in the center, but no, it's kind of filling the entire crepe. I am so pleasantly surprised by this restaurant. I did not expect to enjoy it as much as I did. I feel like everyone comes here, mainly, you come here for the sweet crepes. You don't come here for anything else. You come here to get some AC and a sweet crepe, but everything has just been really good. I would come here again, even more so, for the savory crepe. And before I head out, I did want to clarify something real quick. So I know earlier I said that the buckwheat crepes are gluten-free. You can, if you have a gluten allergy, you can get the sweet crepes. The sweet crepe itself is not gluten-free. It does have gluten in it, but they're able to substitute the crepe that comes with the sweet crepes for a buckwheat crepe. That way you can still enjoy one of the sweet options. Finishing up over here in the creperie, the total for the meal was $42.55 plus tip, coming out to $51.55. So definitely a bit of a more expensive lighter kind of lunch. That price does save you a couple of dollars if you're planning on getting all of those things that are in the prefix menu. If you get an appetizer, an entree, a dessert, and the cup of champagne with it. So it is definitely a good value, but if I were to go back, which I definitely would, because like I said, I am so surprised at how much I like that place. Before that, I didn't consider myself a crepe person, and I did not think I would enjoy that restaurant that much, but I really thoroughly enjoyed all the food there. So I'll definitely go back, but next time I probably wouldn't do the prefix menu. I just got it today to kind of show you guys everything, show you guys a little bit of a variety of such. But I would probably just go order a savory crepe, and then probably split a sweet crepe with someone. I feel like that's the way to go. Or you can even get the prefix menu for one person, and then just order an extra entree or something. You could kind of make it work. I don't think you need to order the prefix, but it was something fun to do. I don't really like the vibe of the restaurant in there. Like I said, it was really quiet. The tables were quite close together, so it was a little awkward, but I'll definitely be back. I was thinking of riding Ratatouille after our little lunch, but the line is looking quite long out there, so we're gonna ride something else. But before we head out of the France Pavilion, I did want to show you one other thing. So the sit-down restaurant we ate at is right there, and right next door, they have a quick service kind of crepe walk-up window. I'll show you guys the menu. They have the same general selection, so we've got some of those savory crepes. They have one with brie cheese, they have the Ratatouille one out here, and then they have the bechamel cheese and ham one. And then they, of course, have the sweet crepes. They have a butter and sugar one, which honestly, I'm hearing that is really good. That's what my server said. So next time I might even come out here and try the butter and sugar one. But we've got the hazelnut chocolate one, the red berry crepe, and they also have one with vanilla and chocolate ice cream. And the prices for at least the sweet crepes are a little bit cheaper than they are inside. I'm not sure if they're the same size or what. And also, back here they have some ice cream too. Oh my, a milkshake. That sounds good. I haven't gotten a crepe from that stand back there since I did my cast member preview of Ratatouille. That's the one and only time I got a crepe from over there. I remember it being okay, but I don't know. Now that I ate at that restaurant, maybe I've been converted to a crepe person and I'll have to check it out again. I know my sister Lauren is a huge fan of crepes, and she always used to like getting them when they were in the front of the pavilion before Ratatouille was here. I'm gonna have to bring her to that crepe sit-down restaurant because I think she'd really like it. But enough of the crepe business for now. We have one more matter to take into our hands. Today is actually the very last day of Test Track as we know it, the last operating day. The attraction is going under a refurbishment, a lengthy refurbishment to enhance the attraction, which I am very, very happy about. I am not the biggest fan of this version of Test Track. I remember coming as a child, and Test Track was one of my favorite rides here. I just thought it was so awesome, that like mechanic kind of feel. You felt like you were going into an auto body shop. I don't know, I never was like into cars or anything, so it's weird that I really liked it, but I just loved that the OG Test Track, and I feel like with the update, it kind of ruined it. A lot of things are broken. The ride barely works. So I think we're gonna actually head over there and see if we could hop on one final time. As I've been walking through the World Showcase to get over to Test Track, I've been noticing how dead it is back there, or back here. Matter of fact, there's just no one back here. It's really empty. I don't know if it's just because it's today or if it's because there's no food festival. We're going like an entire summer without a food festival. So I don't know, less of a crowd back here for sure. Look who it is, my lovely brother. We are here to ride Test Track together on its final days. What are you drinking, some chalky milk?
Yeah, some double chocolate chip cream frappuccino. I don't do caffeine, so it's the only thing I could get.
Double chunk chocolate cookie. Okay, but Ryan is filming a really cool video today. He's doing a history of Test Track video coming out when? Shout it out. What are they looking out for?
Either the day of the release of this or the day after, most likely. It's going to be a really, really fun video, all the way from World of Motion all the way to the current version, mainly focusing on Test Track 1.0 because it's my favorite, and all the like issues that went along with getting that version up and running. So it'll be it's a good time. It's very educational.
If you guys enjoy Disney history style videos, definitely make sure you guys go check that out. I'm going to put a link to Ryan's page down below here. And he's done a couple of other history videos. He did one on the Richard Petty driving experience. What's the other one you did? Oh, you did Horror Nights, and you did one other one. What's the other one? The Nick Hotel one is fun.
Oh, the Margaritaville at Sea, which I'm trying to get her to go with me on one of those. We'll see. Maybe soon. Maybe probably.
Should we go? And I've been trying to workshop some ideas for some other ones. Can you share any possible future Disney history videos coming up?
No.
Okay.
I need ideas though. Give me ideas. I'm all for it.
Well, now let's go ride Test Track. My video is just going to be about our fun experience riding the worst version of this attraction to ever exist.
Come on.
It is you're gonna say this is better than World of Motion or Test Track?
The only thing World of Motion had, it was the ride with the motion animatronics ever, like 188, something ridiculous. So that's the one thing they had. Other than that, it's kind of boring.
Well, this new Test Track definitely ain't much. Okay. But I'm very excited for the re-theme, so let's go ride the current version that's here for a couple more hours, actually.
So
couple more hours. Yeah, if you're watching this too late, you can't ride it. Dang, single rider is kind of long. I'm honestly thinking it might be the same wait time for single rider that it is for standby. Like, I don't want to wait like 30 minutes for single rider if we could just wait 20 more minutes and ride together. A nice brother-sister ride through.
I'm down. What up?
Stand by it is. I'm gonna start the clock. I'm gonna miss the sound of these cars whizzing around every couple of seconds. No, I'm not. It's so loud. We are now entering the design studio, which I think is the worst part about this ride. It just takes up unnecessary time, and I'd personally rather watch a pre-show, especially since none of the effects once you get in the ride actually work. And you can never tell who actually wins or not. But every time I do this, I go for the most power possible. That's how you gotta do it. Scan my little ticky here. Spanish?
Sure.
No. Power. Which one screams power to you? This one or this one?
It's the truck. Is that a cyber truck? You should make a cyber truck.
I don't know how to, I'm not that talented in my design of the Test Track.
That was so lazy.
It just does it however it wants anyway. That's what I was going for.
It looks like the Cybertruck.
It does. We're just going for ultimate power. So whatever. No. Okay, we need. Oh, look at that. I'm really excited to wash my hands after. Ryan, do you have hand sanitizer? Because I don't.
Yes, I do.
Oh, thank God. 2, rear. This is our last one, guys.
That's it.
3, I think the 3 one, yeah. 86. I wonder, look at that. That's our vehicle. And look, now we still have 1 minute and 46 seconds remaining, so we just have to stand in this hot room. Should we put on a performance in here? Should we do a song or dance?
Yeah, I think we should.
What should we sing?
We should sing the original song from World of Motion.
There's a great, big, beautiful. I don't. You know the original song of World of Motion?
Yeah,
no, you don't.
Now
Sing
I
it.
do because of the video I'm making.
Sing it.
No. It's called "It's Fun to Be Free." There's a little Easter egg in this ride of this song. There's, you know when you leave the launch, and then you see a sign that says 82, which is the opening of Epcot on your right. On your left, you see like the Epcot City. Then after that, there's a sign that says like a license plate version of "Fun to Be Free" with the old World of Motion logo on it.
Look at that. Fun facts with Ryan. He won't sing the song though, so.
I'm not a singer.
I do want to mention that we're already out of the pre-show and we are only at a 23-minute wait. Before we went into the pre-show, I think we were at about like 15 or so. That's crazy for like closing day. I really expected it to be such a longer wait. Here we go. Hang on.
Connecting to All-Star.
This part always makes my stomach jump. Wow, wow.
Let's see how your designs hold up now.
Commencing sim car off-road and extreme weather support.
This breeze feels great. Let's see if the screen is working on the final day. It doesn't look like it. No screen.
Test results displayed and verified.
No, they're not.
Now let's see how your
Where's
not us?
Where's our green truck? Come on.
Scanning sim
responsiveness test. I don't think we were too good in that category. Okay, let's see if the final screen is working.
Spoiler. It's not. Spoiler. I don't think one of the screens was working.
Not one of them has worked. Oh, come on. What did we design that car for? There was no point. That's it. My final ride on Test Track 2.0. Do I look tough on this car? How do I look? This is me saying bye to you guys because it's too hot out there and I want to film it in here. Even though this light is beaming right down in my eyeballs and just making it even warmer in here. But thank you all for watching this video. My Patreon subscribers listed right here. You guys are awesome. I appreciate all of you guys, especially Ryan?
Who was I supposed to thank today?
When Ryan's with me, he's going to start thanking a random Patreon member. So let me just scroll through and find a Patreon member. Okay, yeah, Ryan. Pick a person, any person.
Eric Call. Shout out Eric Call.
Woo! Also, massive shout out to Chevrolet, the sponsor. I can't say that. But thank you guys for watching this video. I'm hankering on to every last moment I have in this test track building while I can. And if you want to see me dine at other World Showcase restaurants, the playlist, so you can see all of those videos, is just right over here. So go check that out. And as always, let me know in the comments where I should dine in the World Showcase next. I'll see you guys there. Bye.